Morning all. How the devil are you today? How's things going in your household? Is it nice and quiet? Was it a struggle to get up? Are you half dressed like I am? Well, I've kind of just later life jumpered over the top of pyjamas and socks today. As we often wear in movement snacks in the morning, we tend to wear socks rather than shoes or slippers. But if you prefer shoes or slippers, then that's absolutely fine, of course. Have them that fit well, though, around your footsies. I like to feel the floor in the morning movement mission. You might be joining me. Socks on carpet, that's a good mix. Socks on a slippy floor, perhaps not a good mix. But there you have it. That's what we're going to start with. Morning, George. Here come the live-Os. Morning, Maddie. First and second place awarded to you both today. How's it going for you so far this morning? Do let me know. Anything that you've got planned today or perhaps looking forwards to today. It'd be great to hear that too. We've just got one football match today at 2 o'clock in Nuneaton, so a bit of a drive away. That's Willow's match. Neve's obviously not playing, and nor are my other team, so it's going to feel weird today. Right, Bex has just joined in as well. Good morning. And I momentarily was going to say good afternoon then, but wrong time of the day. I'd be doing well to have just gotten up and to be delivering the noon, wouldn't I? Yeah, that would have been a decent lay-in. But oh no, you want me at 8 o'clock today. Sheila Day's just arrived. Good morning. We have a partial collective here from Sheila. Wonder where Sister Carol is. If you're still making your brew or drinking your brew or eating a bit of toast or walking around and just doing a couple of things during this preamble, then that's good. You could get some leg marching underway as you do those little things. Thanks, Bex. I'm on the 4 p.m.s next week, so I can have a lay-in until about 3:30. Would that do? Morning, Mrs. Perry. Cheers to all you who are just having a slurp on your teas or coffees. I'm just going to do what my mug says today. Keep calm and kill some zombies. Let's see. Sheila. Morning all. Completely exhausted after trip to Panto. Of course, you had a long day yesterday. I hope you had some good fun though. I love a little bit of Panto. I've not been for a few years now. Must put that on my to-do list. Morning, Dawn, as well. It's behind you. Where? What? Huh? What? Thanks, Bex. It's probably a cat that's behind me as usual, isn't it? Francis has just been on a video call. Oh, who to? What you been talking about? I'm just a bit nosy. So you can tell me or not. It's all right. Right. You've got some dikers working on the burn today. And I do know what that is now. I'm not going to sit here and look a little bit confused. But I hope that all goes well. Dickinson Duo have just arrived. Gillian with a J has arrived. We never say your name anymore, do we, Gillian? Your surname. Or Gillian with a G. Oh, you've been... No wonder it's been an early morning start for you then, Francis, if your daughter's in Melbourne. Yeah, it's a bit of a time difference there, isn't there? Sandra's off to church after the movement snack. Or is it about 10 or 11 a.m? Something like that, Sandra. So not straight after. Gillian with a J is in. Margaret Wood is in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. I've got a few jobs to do today as well. So I've got footy match this afternoon and I wrote myself a list, look. Oh. Declutter the wardrobes. Get rid of a few bits of furniture. Stuff up the loft. Clean the chickens out. Jet wash the patio. Paint the walls. That's in a few places. touch up the paintwork on the woodwork. Well, I'm not at the bottom yet. Cobwebs. I've done some of the cobwebs. And then clean all of the carpets. Well, we'll do a couple of them things today, I reckon, but it'd be hard push to do all of them. Right, I think it's about time. We've got Kathy's just joined us. It's dark and damp reportedly in Chesterfield. And a few just saying hello. Wardrobes are designed for clutter. Yeah, but the clutter has migrated from the wardrobe to on top of the wardrobe. And that's the stuff that needs to get gone. Sue Tilly's here. Sandra's on duty at church. Ah, right, so you ought to get there early. You're listless, Bex. Here we go. I've got this to do now as well. Top of the tree, top of the list, movement snack, 3, 2, 1. Good morning and welcome. Today is Sunday the 16th of January 2022, and you're with me, Kelsey Leverton, for a bit of mobility and circ boost. A bit of focus onto those joints to get them moving that little bit better. Standing or seated, it's up to you. So get yourself into a place where you want to be. I'm just going to take my coffee with me. External support either in front of you or to the side of you. I did that in opposition then. Standing tall wherever you are. Sitting tall if you sat. You might want to take some hip walks towards the front portion of your chair and start foot pedaling when you've arranged your feet underneath your knees. Not too wide, not too narrow. Somewhere in the middle is just right. You can hold on to the side of your chair to just give your upper body posture a little bit of assistance and reminder where to be. It sinks down if you don't quite think of it or turn your attention to it fairly often. When you're ready though, you can start to pick up your feet. Give those feet a little point down to the floor. And make the toes the last part of your foot to leave. The knees don't need to lift too high. It's not anything intense, this circulation booster. It will give a lift to your heart rate and your breathing rate though, just a slight lift. So if you start to huff and puff, just bring it down, do some foot pedals, do something lighter and lower level, just as you recover. Just moderate your intensity yourself though. Let's get an arm swing in. Fix at the elbow. We shorten the lever here so we can get a bit of emphasis on pressing the elbow back and a bit more movement coming from that shoulder. Or both shoulders if you've got both arms in at the same time. If you're not happy to release and let go of your support completely, just keep the one hand onto your external support or onto the side of your seat, wherever you are. And that should help with your posture and help with your balance to a degree. Let's keep going. I think my ankles need a bit of ironing out as usual. You can hear them clicking away here. It's like a little orchestra down at the ankle level. You might get it in the shoulders or the neck or the knees. A bit of creaky knees. But let's warm up, and that way we can try and get the best out of the muscles and out of the joints when we get stuck into each area. Right, a few more moments here. If you want to come down and rest the legs and just focus on the top half for a few arm swings, then do that. You could make these arm swings a little bit bigger, but that would slow them down a little bit. You might want to keep some foot pedals in. That just lowers it down onto the hips and takes the effort level away from the hips if they're the bits that are aching a little bit or getting a bit tired. Right, shoulders have had a good go through that circulation booster, and let's bring in some shoulder lifts and shoulder rolls as we hit our top trio. Lifting up. So as you lift up, lengthen up through your spine, and as you press your shoulders down, try not to sink. Let's lift again. Smooth, controlled, action. You can be holding onto your support. As long as holding onto your support allows you to move your shoulders in the best way possible. If your support's a bit low, you might need to come find something a little bit higher, or you might want to just pop your hips against the tabletop or anything that's not going to move that's behind you. Right, we're going to progress this into a shoulder circle. So drawing a shoulder circle, forwards a little bit, upwards a lot, and backwards and down a massive bit. That's the emphasis on the back, round, back and down. If you're holding support, come in maybe a little bit closer so that as your arms go back and down, you're still able to hold on to your support. Keep that going. Ignore maybe one or two clicks and clunks there. There might be a little bit clicking and clunking going on in the shoulders, just as they iron themselves out and organise where they want to move to. 4 or 5 there is just enough. Let's have a look at our head turns now. So those of you who normally get a bit dizziness, you might want to come into seated, or you might want to make sure that you've got some external support. I'm going to come in a little bit closer here. Okay, so wherever you are, sitting or standing as tall as you can be, using some external support, take a glance to the side and back to the middle. Chin stays level all the way across, so we're not dipping or chipping, dipping or tipping. That's the word I want, the chin. It's just gliding straight round to the other side and back to the middle, just for a little bit of a pause and a posture check. We're going right to the farthest end of range there without letting the body join in. We're going to focus on the trunk in a few minutes, so let's just leave the neck to do this job all on its own. And when you've done about 4 or 5, have a rest, you're done. Chin tuck-in is where we're going next. So sit up, stand up tall, one hand onto your external support or side of your chair, other hand, fingertips just onto the chin there. Now, just before we get going into this, lift up tall again, stick those shoulders back and down where we've placed them a moment ago, and then have a go at tucking the chin inwards, directly backwards, guided by your fingertips. It'll bring some doublés to your chin. That's what we want here. But we also want to feel the back of the neck lengthen and the head just sit in that slightly taller position, stacked on top of the neck and the rest of your spine. For some of you, it'll be a very small range of movement. For others, it might be a little bit bigger, but we're all wired a little bit differently. That should do. Right, we're going to head into our reach and row. So if you're seated, then you can be reaching and rowing. If you're standing, just before you start reaching and rowing, you might want to just take your feet out that little bit wider. Head faces forwards here. This is a little bit of a more fluid, a little bit quicker movement through the trunk. We don't really want our head whipping around from side to side as well, because that could be a balance challenge for you. Some of your heads might not like it, and it might make you feel a little bit giddy and dizzy. So keep the eyes focused forwards best you can. Keep some soft little bounce into your knees. And from your support or hands clasped together, should feel that build of warmth around your centerpiece. That's a low guide back with the elbow, just so the shoulders aren't hunching up and we're not creating tension in those shoulders. Right, we're going to head into our sideways bending first. So we're going to get the bends done now. If you stood up, feet flat and a bit wider. If you sat down, you can go a bit wider, but your focus is going to be keeping your hips fixed to the chair so that you're not lifting one buttock at any one time. Sitting tall, standing tall, sliding your fingertips down the side of your leg if you're in standing. Just do that in standing. Or down the chair leg if you're sat down. So knees soft, keep a little bit of a check going back to those knees. Come to and from your support, or just have your hands, if you're happy to freestyle it, then just keep your fingertips along the seam of your pyjamas. And this is all moving through the trunk. If you want to bring a little lift and draw up towards your armpit, you can do. As long as this extra movement isn't throwing what the rest of it is, throwing what you're doing. You might feel a bit of a pull along either side of your waist. Need to adjust my jumper as well every now and again. Standing tall in the middle. There we go, that should do. Right, keeping the feet, the knees, the hips in the same place as they are right now. We're going to bring in a trunk twist. You can fold your arms and get your arms completely out of the way. You can use your arms to reach and guide. You can use your support, or you can put your hips against something behind you. We do want to try and keep the focus on the hips staying still as you twist and turn. So just having a reference point wherever it is, sat down, stood up or leaning. You can add a little reach behind if you would like. And sit up tall as you return back to this central point. Always trying to keep posture checking on the radar. Generally, as we add movement to anything, we tend to think about the movement. And we do need to do that to a certain degree. But sometimes just those bits that are supposed to be staying still kind of do something differently on their own. So sitting high onto your sit bones, have a little look over your shoulder there, so including just an extra bonus head turn in as well. And there, if you've done 4 or 5 on each time, on each side, you're there. Hey you, big back extender is next on our to-do list. So you can have your hands on your thighs. Take a bit of a slump so that you can just give the posture a little bit of a break if you like. You can have your hands onto external support, or have them round at the side of your hips in seated or standing. It's up to you. Feet are wide here. Give yourself a good broad base of support. Stick a bend into your knees. And as you do the movement, try not to lock the knees or push the hips forwards. That's 2 things just to be aware of there. So sit tall, stand tall, sit tall or stand taller, look directly forwards, and then take a little lean backwards. Now, when I mean lean backwards, it's not one of these from the hips. We come up with the rib cage and then just lean in. Let me just switch around here at that very top end of good, gooder and even gooderer posture. Lift, lift, lift. There's good posture. There's good posture. Plus, here's even gooder posture and a lean on the back end of it. Mobilising the spine in that upwards and slightly backwards direction. The head weighs a lot, so if the chin is tipping, you may feel a little weighed back, but if the chin is tucked down and your eyes are looking forwards rather than at the ceiling, then that will feel much better. I'm going to put one more in. This is a definite thing to do if you've had a bathroom clean, you've been leant over, if you've done any amount of gardening or hoovering or anything that kind of ends you up leaning over, flexed and rounded. That counterbalances everything there. Down at feet level then, our final round of Cirque Boost. Try and get those heels really lifted high over the toes. You can see how high up you could potentially get there. Ankles, feet and toes all involved in this. Take a rest from there, bring in some toes lifts and splays. So try and get your toes to get a bit of air in between all of them. It is tricky, that. I tend to get a bit of air between the big toe and the little toe, but the others stick together. Do some toe scrunches, tuck in the toes under, arching the instep. Keep going with those. Right, here's your option for the heel toe action. In standing, put all of the weight through a standing leg and take up some support so you're not wibble wobbling all over the place. Toes go down but without any weight through them, and then replace with the heel. So there's your toe tap, heel dig, exaggerated ankle mobility move. Seated, it's pretty much the same. You can hold the side of your chair just to support your upper body posture. And lifting, toes down, lifting, digging the heel in. There's no weight going through. About 5 on each side. If you would like, have a go at this one in the back end of your chair. So hopefully you've chosen which one's right for you. Get stuck into it. Do 5 points and 5 pullbacks, or a point and a pullback will equal 1. Am I just confusing things now? Right, I'm going to do a few more on my other leg, just because this is the dodge one. This is a dodgy ankle. And that generally will get things unstiffened as you work through it. Right, everyone, we've met the end of our movement snack. Hopefully that's loosened you up, decrumpled your joints, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 of them. And you can now set off feeling a little bit more uncrumpled and decrumpled into your day. Wish me luck with me list. I've got a football match in at some point as well. That gets me off the hook a little bit, I reckon. Thank you all. Catherine Jackson, new name there. David Platt, new name as well. Patricia Reed Franks, good morning to you. Linda Kerr, new name as well. We're doing all right this morning. Odil's here. Sue Tilley's here as well. Right, you lot, you were the back enders, weren't you? Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock. It'll feel like a long time, that, won't it? You'll have Dave with you at noon and Bex with you at 4 for the finale of the Go Slow Sway. Catch you all later. Have a great day.